A very warm welcome to the Isle of Man for our fourth and very sadly our last day of the Netball Europe Open Challenge 2019 here at the National Sports Centre. And if you've been joining us all weekend, you will know what an amazing time we have had. We've seen some amazing netball from our 7 competing teams: host Isle of Man, Gibraltar, Republic of Ireland, Emirates, Israel, the Cayman Islands and our invitational team UK Armed Forces. This is it. We are down to our last 2 games of this amazing weekend. Don't miss a minute of the action today in what will be the decider for the Netball Europe Open. I'm Lynn Carpenter and I'm delighted to be joined again today in the commentary box by Deb Jones, assistant coach of Emirates and former England international. So Deb, 19 games so far. It all comes down to this one match. Next up, Ireland versus Isle of Man. And we know now, don't we, that Ireland need to take the win against Isle of Man to leave themselves in contention. And it then all goes down to goal difference between Gibraltar, Ireland and Isle of Man. How are you going to call this?
Oh my gosh, I don't think I can. The Isle of Man team came out really strongly in that last quarter yesterday to take the game off Gibraltar. You know, we've seen that happen to Ireland, so in my eyes this could be anybody's game.
Well, let me tell you which 2 starting 7s are going to contest this game. For the Isle of Man and hosts, goal shooter Gale, goal attack Smallwood, their captain Ashley Hall at wing attack, centre Johnson, wing defence Ryder, goal defence Dorner, goalkeeper Keelan. And for the Republic of Ireland, we will bring you their starting 7. Goal shooter Hines, goal attack Duffy, wing attack Monaghan, centre Murphy, wing defence Peters, goal defence Jenkinson and goalkeeper Birmingham. The coach for the Isle of Man is Claire Batty, coach for the Republic of Ireland is Joan Young. And our umpires for today's game, Kate Mann and Joe Lilly. Our reserve umpire is Chris O'Bin. So, all to play for. We've just seen Gibraltar play Emirates, Deb, and take that game by 21 goals, which they worked out last night on goal difference is what they potentially needed if Ireland take this game.
They were really disciplined in everything that they did on the court.
So we will see them starting this game just shortly. Joe Lilly bringing the ball on. Isle of Man first centre pass.
The Isle of Man will want to really convert from this just to settle them in their attack. Unfortunately, Ireland managed to get the turnover ball and they'll want to capitalise on this for sure.
So we know Ireland were disappointed to lose yesterday for the first time ever to Gibraltar.
Yeah, I mean, great win for Gibraltar, and I'm sure that, you know, they've taken stock of everything that went wrong for them. I'm sure that they will have analysed all the games that Isle of Man have played and will come out really strongly to try and take this game.
So who do you think are going to be the impact players of this match?
Oh God, I think that's really hard to call. You know, I really like watching the young Erin Peters. I think she's got a lot to offer, and it's really interesting that they set up with her at wing defence again. I really like her playing in the middle, but with Neve's experience, you know, I'm sure that that's what Joan wanted in the middle there, just to control that centre court.
So Gale again, 2-0, Isle of Man lead, and we know that if the Isle of Man take this game, they will be the winners of the Netball Europe Open Challenge event here. If Ireland take it, it all goes down to goal difference.
Yeah, unlucky for Ireland that they've not been able to convert off their centre pass. And I'm sure that that will be a focus for the Isle of Man team, making sure that they capitalise on every given possession that they get.
So no doubt there will be many viewers joining us here to watch this critical game. If you do want to join the netball conversation with Deb and I, use our hashtag #NEOpen, join us on Twitter or Facebook, and we will do our best to read out your comments.
I'm sure that Holly Jenkinson, after turning that ball over, will want them to be able to convert from this. Really good steal down the defensive end.
You can sense that every ball is going to be contested.
Yeah, and I'm sure that they'll be looking in early for Jan Hines.
So 2-1 to Isle of Man.
So they've both turned over a centre pass each, Lynn. So it will come down to who's got nerves of steel. You know, when you know that you're under pressure and you want to be able to convert, you've got to put a sensitive feed in there.
Yeah, Jan Hines was doubled by both Keeling and Storner. Need to think about working their Galatap Van Duffy, and she's good on the front cuts.
Yeah, I mean, but the defence, they worked doggedly yesterday, the Isle of Man defence. So let's see if they're going to do the same thing today.
Great pop in again to Gail.
Clearly feeling the nerves, Lynn.
I think both teams will know how much this match means. And of course the Isle of Man have their home crowd here.
The Isle of Man trying to do a job on Ireland in keeping them up the court. Definitely keeping them high, trying to make them pass as many times as they can to try and force an intercept for them.
So pleased to hear that Louise Burke-Richardson is with us all the way from the Cayman Islands. I hope you enjoyed their match this morning against Israel. I think they've headed to the airport to catch a flight home already.
So we're back on even scores, 2 breaks of centre pass.
Neither side really settling in quite early enough in this game. And we know that if they stand still, they're going to have defenders on the back. They've got to keep giving options. They've got to keep driving to the ball.
Yeah, and more than one option for every ball is going to be absolutely crucial in this game, and keeping width. And driving into the same channel is easy for the defence to be able to pick off. I'm not sure the coaches will be very happy with the amount of with the error rate at the minute for both teams.
This game is going to be highly competitive. We really need to cut out the enforced errors.
Yeah, I mean, just shown by Peters there, it will be highly competitive. She got her hands to some really good ball there, forcing the ball out of court. I really like Johnston at centre for the Isle of Man. I thought she was a real playmaker yesterday for them in that game, and I'm sure that the coaching team will be expecting the same from her again today.
Clever play by Smallwood.
Lovely little feed in.
Oh, Gail kept that in beautifully.
And deserves that goal at the end of it.
Yeah. So 3-2. No real breaks yet.
It's good to see Murphy putting off the circle edge there, trying to create some depth, but they managed to find Jan underneath the post. Can she show the experience of her 90-plus caps?
92 today. Kira Murphy's cheering on Ireland. Wonder if she's related to Niamh in there at centre. I'm sure she'll tell us.
Right, so Ireland possession. We've had a break of centre pass for each team, but other than that, pretty even Stevens.
Ireland driving onto the ball a bit better now, Deb. Coming forward.
Yeah, but again, Isle of Man keeping the pressure on, keeping the Ireland girls up the court. I'm sure that was exactly part of their game plan. It's definitely paying off for them. Ashley Hall linking really well there. Lovely feeding to Gail, and she manages to convert for them. So 3 out of 4 centre passes to goal for them.
So 4-3. We talked earlier, I'd like to see the shooters every time they get the ball, turn to the post, let the defenders get away, then make the next pass.
Yeah, definitely, and it's really important for the circle feeders to see the defence. Gail came out, Keeling came out with a great intercept then. Get another good drive onto the edge by Johnston.
Better tight there at the back by Birmingham, cutting down the space.
Yeah, showing her experience. Her and Holly really work the ball steadily out of the back.
That's great pressure by Isle of Man there.
Lovely long feed down into Duffy. God, if the game goes like this, they're going to keep the audience on their seat for the full 60 minutes.
That's almost coming down too easy, really, for the Isle of Man. Great play by them.
A great swing across the circle and converting.
So, first bit of air light between these two, 5-3.
Yeah, and we all know that that's not a massive margin with 7 minutes down. One converted centre pass in this.
So Kira has told me she's not related to Niamh, but she's been playing for Ireland and Singapore and Hong Kong tournaments when Niamh was injured. So great
rebound by Smallwood. And another shot puts them
6-3.
Puts them ahead again in the game.
Almost forced the 3 seconds there. We knew this one was going to be tight.
This will come down to who can stick to their game plan, Lynn, because I'm sure they've observed each other's play so much over the last few days.
Good play by Keeling, and Storner cutting out the option of the ball in, but Duffy didn't need it. Keeping that pressure on, 6-4.
Isle of Man being patient, having to pass lateral and then back because of the pressure that Ireland are putting on them.
Oh, great tip, but that picked up by Gal.
That was very lucky.
He who reacts first. And sometimes in international netball, does it just come down to those little moments of luck in a game too, as well as the skill that the players bring to the court?
Yeah, but often, Lynn, luck favours those that work hard, to be fair. Lovely pop ball from Duffy.
7-5.
Yeah, Ireland are not going to take this line down. They're going to want to stay within touching distance all the way through this game.
Oh, great reading.
Great vision.
There. You said about her overlaps and coming out.
Yeah, putting Kate Birmingham back at goalkeeper as well allows her to see the game. Yeah, she's equally good at goal defence, but let's see if they can convert from this.
Defence just need to be disciplined, not give away the penalty. Give her another shot, which Hines is going to take. 7-6.
And that was a goal off Isle of Man's centre pass, so they need to be pulling this one back.
We've liked Peters in this event, haven't we, this tournament?
Yeah, she's impressed as a youngster. You know, she's, lots of netball ahead of her.
So we've got a real game here. 7-all. Less than 5 to go into quarter time. We know both these teams want this game.
And Smallwood definitely wants the game. Putting that long shot in there for the Isle of Man. They need to close down. The Isle of Man need to focus on the second phase of the centre pass. The first is coming out pretty easily, but they're being crucified on the second. It's really great for the Isle of Man team, having the crowd right behind them. I'm sure they're desperate for their girls to win and for this to be less of a three-way tie.
So 9-7 here to the Isle of Man. If they do win this, Deb, as we said earlier, then they will be the Netball Europe Open winners. If Ireland take the game after their loss to Gibraltar yesterday, then it will be a three-way tie.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cliffhanger.
All go on goal difference.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really nice for the Isle of Man girls to win it. You know, they've not been in the competition for very long. You know, first year hosting, fantastic facilities. But then similarly, Ireland won't want to give up either, you know, previous winners. So that's not a title that they want to give away lightly.
And Ireland are rebuilding. So they have a number of new caps. Over half their squad have never played before.
Yeah, and lots of teams have been in there, you know, in their position before, but they're putting out some excellent performances to say that they're rebuilding. Great shot there by the Isle of Man, just edging them ahead. Let's see if, even though they are rebuilding, that the experience that they've got in between the new players can actually come through.
There we go, we're talking about experience. Hines there on 92 caps. So 10-8. Isle of Man lead.
Lovely feed, trying to get Ashley Hall right onto the circle edge for that feed. Oh, great play by Smallwood to keep it in for Gail.
Gosh, it's so competitive out there. Ireland almost need to move the ball before they allow Isle of Man to set back up.
Oh, well seen. Standing still to receive a ball at international level is always going to be picked off by defenders. I was saying to somebody earlier, you know, watching some of the netball this weekend, I'm not sure what category I'd put it into. Sometimes a horror, sometimes a thriller, drama, and sometimes comedy. There'll be definitely lots of thrills out on the court today.
I think we'd say netball is all of those things and much more. And at this moment in time, Isle of Man are showing their skills here at 11-8.
Again, a lovely second phase from Ireland off that centre pass. Great use of the transverse line, Erin Peters.
Oh, that was great patience.
Reset.
Much better patience. Jan's got to take her time on those shots.
Yeah, I just feel like she's rushing a little bit. Yeah. Oh, fantastic intercept by Niamh to gain that possession back for Ireland. That was definitely her goal.
Great take by Gail. She's been really effective all weekend.
Yeah, solid underneath the post.
Yeah, very strong physically and mentally.
Yeah, missed a couple in this first quarter, but I'm sure that's down to nerves. Let's hope she can find a rhythm.
Looking. So still 2 in it. There's 10 seconds on the clock. Isle of Man are going to be conscious they will lose their centre pass. They've got to get it in.
Ireland will definitely want a goal from this. Long ball into Jan Hines. She knows the clock's running down. Now that's 92 caps showing for you.
So as those two teams take to the bench, there is one goal in it here, 12-11. 92. Maggie Jackson's just whispering to Deb Jones and I, it's 91 caps, and we're saying, no, Maggie, it's 92. We'll check with Jan Hines afterwards, but I'm pretty sure she's got 92 caps.
After that goal in, she deserves 92.
Well, she hasn't. We're going to stick with it anyway. So 12-11. Isle of Man are leading marginally against Ireland. What are they going to do when they come out this next quarter, do you think?
Oh, my gosh. I mean, the second phase of the centre pass is working really well for Ireland. So if I was Isle of Man now, I would be saying that they've got to shut that down because the ball's coming through far too easily in either one of the pockets for Fran Duffy. You know, underneath the post, if the shooters are not comfortable, laying it back out and resetting. Jan, I would want to settle more on a shot. She's had a couple of missed shots, which is uncharacteristic for her, but that tends to be when she's feeling that she's under pressure, and sometimes, you know, just taking a breath before you take that shot will do her the world of good. But that was an awesome shot to finish on. And
as we can see from the replays that we're just bringing you now, some of that quality play within the first quarter and some of those points that you're making there, Deb, around the second phase and the timing. Sometimes as a shooter you want to be able to release the ball quickly because you've got space there, but actually other times you want to use the full 3 seconds, and the ability to vary the timing of your shot was something that, you know, we've talked about before. It's a real skill to have.
Yeah, it is. You know, because the defenders start to read your shot as well. So you want to make sure you want to try and get the defenders off balance so that you can get, you know, maybe play for the penalty or the obstruction. But you know, she's experienced. She'll be able to do that and vary her game. There's 3 quarters left. You know, scores tight as we expected it to be. I'm sure the Isle of Man coach is, you know, saying to her team that they've got to keep the work rate, intensity up. Error rate at a minimum. The ball's not flowing as freely as I've seen it done for them in the past. So, you know, the timing of the moves is going to be really crucial for them in this next quarter.
Absolutely. We will, of course, bring you any changes that the two teams make. Wouldn't expect to see any at this stage?
I don't think so. Not for either team. Not unless they feel like, you know, an individual is underperforming within a unit. But at the minute, we've not really seen that. I think that, you know, the odd error that's been made is, you know, match nerves. They know that this is a big game for them. I think the title is riding high on this game for both of these teams. What a game to finish on.
Well, we like to keep things interesting for everybody back home and those of you who are tuning in. So Dalton Redmond's with us, somebody we know from Ireland very well. You're welcome to be here with us, Dalton. Hope you're enjoying the netball. I hope you can stand the next 3 quarters because it is going to be tense.
It's really interesting, Lynn. As a commentator here looking over there, I'm feeling like that, you know, the breaks are actually quite long. But I know as a player, you know, even I can remember that far back. You know, the breaks are never long enough.
Colour TV in those days, Deb.
But it's, you know, it's really important for coaches and individuals to get the input and the feedback that they need to improve their game or to maintain whatever it is on the court that they feel is working.
So we will see these two sides taking to the court. Just at first glance, it doesn't look like we have any changes for Isle of Man. And I don't think, Deb, we can see any changes.
Which is
oh, they have. They've brought Ashley Hawes has gone. No, Ashley Hawes still on. Just looking at Ireland.
Yeah, no, I think we've got the same lineups, Lynn, which is, you know, I would probably
pretty
expect
consistent.
that with a score line as it is.
So we know Ireland have got to keep the ball moving. There is something about getting in that circle, shooting opportunity.
Yeah, great hands there by Storner. Lovely ball to swing the passage of play from Smallwood, but it's just a shame that ball from Hall up to Johnston didn't quite work.
Good follow in by Hines there. Good example, when you take the shot and shoot, you don't just stand there, get in there.
Yeah, always
challenge the rebound.
Oh, great vision by Ashley, recognising that Kate had come out to take the fly and intercept. Left Gale wide open underneath the post.
So we're still level pegging in this quarter.
This is great in this game that every pass counts. Erin Peters really could do with being ball side on that transverse line just to make that passage of play a little bit easier for the reset.
You can sense Ireland are trying to play with patience. Sometimes they just need to take that first ball, second option.
Yeah, and if it's not on, look back.
So Hines scores to level it 13-all. Oh, you can see.
Well read. That seems to be a favourite side of Kate. That's twice she's come out on the right for that ball. Great vision out the back.
And anything Birmingham can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a great ball down. So the turnover on the Isle of Man centre pass. Nose in front for Ireland, 14-13. You just can't call it.
No, you can't. Isle of Man, we know, have got the ability to pull back when they're down in the final quarter. So, you know, the Island girls cannot take their foot off the gas at all in any of this game.
So if you're tuning in, there you go, Birmingham again. Actually, Jenkinson got called for contact there. Umpire calling it back.
Yeah, Ryder looking for the long ball down into the pocket to Smallwood. Joe Lilly not happy with where that penalty's been set, calling the players back.
Didn't look like it was that far from where they were before, just
They'll be
saying. There's a real intensity about Isle of Man.
Yeah, well,
again, Birmingham.
yeah.
She's making a presence felt out there.
They'll be wanting to make their home audience even more proud than they are. Ooh, that ball had snow on it down from Storner there. But managing to find Smallwood underneath the post.
There you go. 2 opportunities to get the ball down to their end, and Ireland couldn't quite manage it. So,
great shot.
14-15.
This definitely is going to be falling into the thriller category, Lynn.
And an unforced error on footwork won't help the Ireland campaign here.
Oh,
good
well read by
there,
Neve to close off the drive through from Storner. Well held by Gale. Nice patient feed in from Johnston.
Yeah, great to pull the defenders back there, and Gale took the front position. Good strong rebound by Jenkinson.
Birmingham looking to calm the Island girls down.
We know that Anne-Marie and Holly Jenkinson are sisters on the Ireland side, and their mum apparently doesn't do social media but's listening into us on live streaming, so hope you're enjoying it, Mum. Now that's
nice defence of the shot from Gale. Oh, from Keeling. Sorry, my error. Nice shot, Jan.
So 15 plays 16.
Oh, a rare error from Ashley Hall trying to find Johnston. Oh, nice follow up of the shot there by Jan.
Yeah.
Good that Ireland are resetting the ball again. Good patience into the circle by the Island girls. Again, looking to find Jan, who manages to convert, just edging them in front. So all pressure on the Island man now.
Yeah, 18
Centre
playing,
basket.
14.
Oh, that's the
well
second
seen.
time that Ashley Hall has found Gale underneath the post. Both the defenders out there looking for the intercept. I'm sure Joan will be asking them to be a little bit more disciplined with that ball.
That was a great feed into Hines into the post. So 19-15, 4 goals in it. 9.5 minutes left on this game. Tyler Sue is with us. Wonder where you've been all day, Tyler Sue. Thought you'd been here this morning. I know you're supposed to be revising, but we've got netball on.
This is a great distraction. Great defensive pressure by Jenkinson.
Gail holds such a strong position there in the circle.
Both defenders out. Free shot on post.
Yeah, and Isabel Everson is joining us to support Isle of Man. She's watching from Menorca.
Oh, wow.
Probably
Welcome.
Slightly warmer there than it is here.
Even though the sun is now out,
It
Lynn.
is indeed. Apparently that's a rarity on the Isle of Man, I've been told.
Yeah.
They arranged it especially for the weekend. So 19-16.
The Isle of Man having to play the ball back because of the pressure that the Island girls are putting on. Again, trying to keep the Isle of Man team up the court, but managing to find Smallwood in the goal third. Yeah, there's calls of keep moving from the Isle of Man bench.
We said in that last game, all we could hear is you on the sideline saying, I can't even remember what it was now, look after the ball, look after the ball. I think your instruction was look after the ball, Dad.
Yeah. It's just a shame that we couldn't look after it well enough. Good patience from Erin Peters. We need to open up a few more options in the Ireland attack, because if not, the Isle of Man will eat away at the lead that that the Ireland girls have managed to build.
3 goals is nothing.
Lovely swing across the circle to open up the
Yeah, I think we
far
just make
side
sure
for the
she's
shooter.
okay. Jenkinson's up. Well reacted.
And back in the game.
They can't afford to stand and receive the ball. They just lost it out of court again.
Yeah, that lapse of concentration can be really costly. Good take by Ryder, finding Ashley Hall, who's looking for an easy feed into the circle. Gail does hold well underneath the post. Manages to convert that.
So we are really tight here. 2 in it. 19-17.
What a game. I can see quite a lot of the Isle of Man volunteers have vacated their positions outside and have come to cheer on the girls. That's brilliant.
There's a lot of nervous faces here in what is a packed sports centre.
Again, good holding by Gail, trying to keep Birmingham in a position where that's advantageous for her.
Now Smallwood.
Lovely shot by Smallwood.
And we're back to 1 game, Dad. 1 goal.
Again, all pressure on Ireland now. Good that they're being patient with the ball, though.
We've just got to keep giving options, moving with purpose, driving onto that ball.
Yeah, nice move into the pocket by Niamh Murphy.
Oh, great. Responds to a rebound opportunity by Duffy. 2 in it, 2018.
So this is when your centre pass conversion rate absolutely counts. It would have been good for Ashley Hall then, as they swung the ball for one of the shooters to pop to the far side, but both hiding.
Yeah, that's good defence by Ireland.
Yeah, they created that for themselves. Let's see if they can convert from this now. Great pressure
by Isle of Man. But again, forced ball wasn't really necessary to do that.
Yeah, no, but they've just given it straight back away, Lynn. You know, that's the only thing when you turn over ball. That's the most precious ball.
Got to look after it.
Fran Duffy always looks calm on the ball.
They're just putting doubt in the minds of the Ireland team, Isle of Man, aren't they?
Yeah.
Really good pressure now.
Yeah.
Oh, she should have had it. You wonder why she let that one go.
Yeah, I think she thought that Jan was behind her, but then, unfortunately for her, realised that she wasn't.
Oh, unforced error again, footwork.
That is costly outside, and ball placement as well around the outside edge of the circle.
That responsibility of the ball handler is something we've talked about, isn't it? Their placement of the ball has got to be spot on. Well held, Hines.
Yeah, and making sure that they see the defence before they give it.
Yeah. So we are 21-18 here. Costly loss on the Isle of Man centre pass, but again another forced ball, no pressure on.
Yeah, unnecessary errors, Lynn.
As a coach, you wouldn't be particularly pleased with this, Deb, would you? Would you be getting them all doing press-ups? We heard about your press-ups.
Yeah, we definitely would be doing press-ups, and we would be giving individual feedback to those that made the errors and talking through the reasons why and giving them time for reflection. Error count is costly.
Yeah, 21-19. Could have been a 4-goal gap. Now back to 2. Isle of Man centre pass.
Yeah, contact called against Birmingham on the ball. Good chasing the ball by Gail.
Yeah, and then we're back to 1.
Yeah, great game. You can hear the thunder sticks raising the roof of this arena. Oh, great tenacious defence. That was awesome from Johnston. It's things like that, intercepts like that can get your team back into the game. She'll want to take care of that, having worked really hard for that intercept.
Yeah, we've got 1 goal in it, 21-20 Ireland lead, but this could bring them level.
You know, the Island girls are defending really hard. There was a sea of green then. The Isle of Man girls were hiding behind the Island. The Isle of Man girls were hiding behind the the Island girls.
It's a mouthful,
this is really
isn't it?
difficult.
It's
like a tongue twister.
Oh, that's a great rotation between Duffy and Hines.
Great shot.
So instead of level pegging, Ireland just keep their nose to front by 2.
They need to put more pressure on that first ball out. Ashley Hall there was at pedestrian pace and still managed to get the ball, which is uncharacteristic for her. Oh, great
rebound.
Great take.
Jessica Smallwood really putting her body through it out there. 22-21. We've got just under 2 minutes now until half time.
It's really good that the both Ashley Hall and Smallwood are working that line, making sure that the ball doesn't get reset too easily. Good patience from Johnston. But good on Smallwood for opening up the width of the court.
Absolutely.
There.
Peter's really sticking to Hall.
Yeah, Gail fighting for position, and Birmingham's not giving
play.
away easily.
Good play by the combination of Gail and Smallwood.
Yeah, nice interlinking play with them in the circle.
It's interesting, you think about the difference in the world rankings between these two players. Ireland are ranked 20th. Isle of Man are not ranked at all. They're rated but not ranked. But yet playing in a way that you can hardly get a light between these two.
Yeah, which is great for, world netball, isn't it? They've responded really well to the challenge. They've another year to build, and could this be their yearling?
Well, it could very well be. There's just 30 seconds on the clock. 24-23 Ireland lead. Their centre pass.
And Ashley Hall calling for calm, doing her captaincy job extremely well there. She'll not want Ireland to be putting in this goal. Yeah, great hands.
Wrong side of the player. Oh, could be costly.
Well done to the Isle of Man for
Great
keeping the pressure on. They'll want to get the ball into the centre third and launch this.
Yeah, she was looking for it, but they ran out of time. So, as these two teams take to the bench, 24 Ireland, 23 Isle of Man.
What an exciting game. For those of you that have not paid to watch this at home, it's well worth the money for those people that are sitting here in the audience with us.
So, in terms of that quarter, it went Republic of Ireland's way, 13-11.
Yeah, that's a really good quarter from them, but again, only one turnover in it. As a coach, for me, there needs to be no changes. I mean, why change a winning team? And at the minute, they're both winning. There's only one goal in it. 30 minutes left to play. The intensity of the game is still high. It does come down to the error rate, and we saw quite a few for both teams in there, taking really crucial intercepts, but then giving the ball away. You can't afford to do that in a game like of such high stakes as this.
And here we are bringing you some of those highlights from this first half of the game. This is the second quarter. We've just played out. Real end-to-end challenge. It's so difficult, isn't it? How are you going to kind of get your team through this next half? It's got to be about possession, quality passing, continuing to move. As you say, you stand still at this level, the game's over.
It's the basics, Lynn, isn't it? You've got to do the basics well. The rest of it will take care of itself. All of our coaches, don't they, say the game's simple. We're the ones that make it difficult. Give 2 offers for every single ball. Let's have a short offer, let's have a long offer, let's have a support for the ball carrier just in case they don't see that first time offer. And there's plenty of space out on the court if they get their timing right. they're both capable of doing it, but it's how well the opposition are going to shut them down and stop them from doing the things that they want to do.
And you can sense, Deb, can't you, that both of these teams want this game so much. Ireland will be still hurting from that first ever loss to Gibraltar yesterday. They've come to rebuild this weekend with a new squad, but the pride of the Irish here is so critical. You can see them wanting this game. They know they've got to win this to stay in with a shout at the Open Challenge event here this weekend.
Yeah, and I'm sure each one of the management teams have done their calculations, for each of the games, because I certainly know that our game was a deciding factor in where Gibraltar would end up, and that really has an impact on this game as well. So the numbers will have been crunched, so sometimes it's not just winning, but it's winning by a margin so that you put yourself an advantage from the opposition. So the Isle of Man girls, they know at the end of the day they've got to win the game. If they win the game, anybody else's results are irrespective, and that's what you want as a coach and as a player. You don't want to go into a game wanting other results to go in your favour when actually you should be the one that's in control.
I think it's an amazing story for both the Isle of Man and Emirates. Here, only 2 years into being international sides, neither of you are ranked yet. This weekend will give you the 8 games in 4 years you need to become world rank. And what a story for the Isle of Man, hosting their first ever international event. You look at the court, you look at the facilities around here, you look at the way they've managed this. Anybody would have to be impressed.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing, and that's why, even though there's nothing to choose between these two teams, and the home crowd will desperately want this for their girls, because they know how much it means to the girls that have put in the hours, both on the court, but to also all of the volunteers and everybody that's been working hard behind the scenes to not just create a national governing body, but also this fantastic event for us this weekend. I can't wait to find out what the next 30 minutes has in store for us.
I suspect more of what we've just seen, because I can't believe either of these sides giving up until that final whistle.
Yeah.
And they've given absolutely everything to try to take this event this weekend.
So let's find out which team is not going to stop when they're tired. They'll stop when they're done.
Well, because actually, if it went on when you were tired, these teams here this weekend played 2 international games twice over 2 days. I mean, that's just phenomenal amount of netball.
Yeah, the recovery turnaround. Some of those girls have never played A, netball at that level before, but B, had the short turnaround between matches, and they're pretty high standard. It's tough out there on the court. It's competitive netball, and I think that probably is not just physically as well, but it's the mental strength to get yourself prepared for another game, different styles of play, maybe different game strategies against different players. So yeah, that's tough.
And for some of these teams, these players, it's a long time between one quarter and the next. That 15 minutes, they've got to make their own decisions on court. That's when the on-court leadership is really important, because you can't wait until quarter time or half time for the coaches to chip in and say, guys, you need to do this. It's got to be led from on the court as well as from the benches. And how do you teach that for your players? Is it something they have naturally? Do they bring it to the game from their world experience? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for me that comes with experience, doesn't it? The Island girls have got a lot more experience out on the international stage, so let's see if they can step up to the mark. I'm sure Joan will have had a word with those players that are the most capped, whether they are the leader or the captain, or that's irrespective. You bring with you lots of experience the more caps you gain. The other thing, players need to recognise as well that just because a first 7 starts out, sometimes, and we talked about this, that players are impact players, so you need to know what your role is within that squad of 12, because it's not like playing for your club where you play week in, week out at centre. There could be somebody else that's got fresh legs that can come on and do a different job to you, so you need to recognise that you all add in a different way, and you don't have to stay on the court for a full 60 minutes to have an impact on the result of that game.
And that's when that whole team ownership really kicks in, because it shouldn't matter which of the 12 is on the court, whether you're on the bench, on the court, supporting whoever, even the court players supporting the bench players at the right time before and after a game. So we will bring you any changes that either team are going to make shortly. we wouldn't be running the changes ourselves, but we're not coaching this one. You have been coaching this weekend. I've just been sitting chatting about netball all weekend. What could be better?
Oh, I'm sure a lot of the couch coaches would want to have an input at this point, Lynn. I'd be interested to see if any of you would make any changes. If you want to do that, if you can tweet, just to see if you've got any other ideas to the coaches on the bench.
So do send us your message, give us your views, use our hashtag NEOpen, use Twitter or Facebook, and we even have our own Instagram account now at Netball Europe.
Looking at the walk back onto the court, Lynn, I don't think that we've got any fresh legs on at all anywhere on the court. So this is going to be a test of not just physical strength on the 6th game of the weekend, but also the mental capacity and the decision making of these 14 players.
So here we go. You can feel the tension just between the two
great.
of us, and we're not even on the court. So just to bring you that score again, Ireland is leading by 1 goal, 24-23.
Nice steady feed in there from Hall. And we're all waiting with bated breath for the Isle of Man girls to put the ball away. Nice rebound from Gale, converting.
So there is literally nothing to choose between these two sides. That's great defence by Isle of Man on the centre pass.
Much better first phase, closing that down. But again, they do need to focus on the second as well, because that's just as important.
Oh, that was really cool and calm by Duffy. You said about her being really sort of balanced and calm. You could see that in the way she approached that shot.
Yeah, she looks really composed, and that must be really nice for the circle edge players that are often driving really hard onto the circle edge, just to have somebody there to take control of that circle. So
Isle of Man keeping up the pressure. Sometimes it's hard when you're chasing, but when you level the score, the pressure switches to Ireland, doesn't it? On every centre pass, they've got to score off it to keep themselves just that little bit in the head.
Yeah. Oh, unlucky. I think Storner, a little bit of miscommunication there between Storner and Keeling, left Jan open underneath the post. So Isle of Man trailing, all pressure on them. Resetting the ball when there's nothing on in front is going to be really important in this. Great shot by Smallwood.
So 26 all.
Well held. A little bit of sensitivity on that bounce out the circle from Jan.
Oh, great timing on the rebound by Duffy. Every single pass, every single shot in this match really counting. 27-26. Oh, there's your coach killer. Deb breaking at the centre pass.
Yeah, I know. That is, particularly when that's gifted possession, isn't it?
Now, can Ireland look after it?
Good take, then, Neve. Lovely pop pass from Fran Duffy.
Oh, she's got such a quick release.
Comes back to settling, like we said earlier, Lynn. Just taking your time on the shot. I'm not sure that she'll be very happy with that. Signalling to the bench. Oh, great take by Ryder. That's exactly the kind of play that the Isle of Man needed to bring them back into this game.
She had her angles all right, put
Great
pressure on
swing
the
of the
ball.
ball.
And they're going to pull one back. They worked so hard to get that nose in front, threw away their centre pass.
That's great. Smallwood using her experience at being at Bath. Swinging the ball across the circle there. She looks really strong.
Smallwood again. Oh, unlucky. Gail almost there.
That would have been a great ball through the legs into her teammates.
And she could have shot it from there as well at the same time. Why not? So Ireland now bring the ball down.
Fran recognising that they'd got to have width in that attack, and that's
that was a great
what pulled
choice
that defence
there.
apart.
Yeah, so Sarah Powsland is watching. Hope you're enjoying the game as much as we are. Not sure which side you're supporting, or maybe you're just here for the netball itself.
That was much better defence from the Isle of Man, closing off the second phase there, forcing Ireland down one of the channels.
Jeffy's got to get a bit more height on that shot.
Yeah, that's better.
So 30-27.
Oh, lovely quick feed there from Jess Smallwood.
That's really great movement at the ball by Isle of Man.
Yeah, when they make the ball do the work, it makes a massive difference. When the first time the ball is on, it's got to be given. Oh, well done, Ashley Hall, to reset that.
Play by her.
Fantastic ball into the pocket by Gail, following up. Lovely move around the back from Jess Smallwood. Great shot.
So still 2 between these two sides. 30 playing 28. Oh, they're just looking a bit nervous now, Ireland. Perhaps not driving onto the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that they didn't want the scoreline to be this close at this point, but it is what it is, and they have got to relax, because if not, that's when the unforced errors start to happen.
Look in, yes.
That was
where the space opened up through the rotation.
That was a brave hold there by Niamh, holding that ball for, it was nearly 3 seconds.
Showing her experience, Deb. And again, 31-28. Nazria Ishak Lenstra, someone who knows you, saying hi, Deb.
Oh, hi. Glad that you're enjoying the footage, and hope you're watching the Emirates game.
She's spotted that we do have JD Clark in the audience here, supporting her sister Ashley Hall.
Yeah, who's just put a peach of a feed into the circle. Jan just checking with the umpire that she's setting it correctly. Manages to get it
her
in.
Experience, so still through the gap. 32-29. 8 minutes left now until three-quarter time.
Oh, great drive. Oh, it's a shame that Jess didn't look down a little bit longer. Ashley was on top of the circle. Good resetting. Love the way that they play the ball around.
Yeah. Long bomb from Smallwood. Great shooting under pressure.
There's one for the audience to celebrate with her. That error could be costly for them.
Oh.
Nobody there to receive the centre pass.
Oh, great reading.
That would have been something that would have seen Jiva eat for breakfast, I think, that ball across the circle.
Yeah, I think Mentor would have been all over that. Oh, unlucky. Birmingham comes round really well, doesn't she?
Yeah, they did. They both
so quick.
do, actually.
Yep. Oh, and again. Picked up by Gail. And the crowd are really aware. 32-31. That's how you throw away, unfortunately, a 3-goal lead.
Jess Smallwood just needing to open up a vision. There was nobody on. Putting it through 2 players is not going to work.
So what can they do now? Isle of Man got to get this one back. Putting a huge amount of pressure on Hines at the back.
Again, given possession, potentially given away.
Oh, better by Hines. Confident by her and their centre pass, 33-31.
Yeah, so both centre passes, both the previous centre passes have been turned over by the opposition.
Footwork. Yeah.
Isle of Man possession.
Jenkinson was just indicating then that she's got a twinge of an injury, but not able to sub on the Isle of Man possession.
Yeah, and no movement from the bench either, so I'm sure Joan's hoping that she can just run through it.
There's nobody warming up that I can see.
Nice take by Gail.
Really impressed as this weekend with her strength. So with just over 5 minutes to go now.
And again, back on centres.
33-32.
They've swung the ball quite a few times, the Isle of Man, just to open up the far side of the circle, which has been working really effectively for them. That's the ball that the Island girls need to be looking to pick off. Lovely pop pass.
So levelling the score, 33-all. Their centre passes, they're struggling a bit now, Ireland, aren't they, with the pressure Isle of Man are putting on. They're going for everything.
Oh my God, this game, that's great. It's like a roller coaster ride. We need some front offers. All we can see is green up the court at the minute.
Clever play by Gail coming out, opening up the options there.
Yeah, good reset option by Storner.
Oh, great dodge. Just missed Smallwood on the baseline there. She created a huge amount of space for herself.
Oh, unlucky, Holly Jenkinson.
She's got to play to the end. She was calling injury, but you can't just put the ball down.
Yeah.
Oh, where's the rebound? Gail's in there, sweeping up, and that puts them in front, 34-33.
Yeah, she doesn't look comfortable, does she, Jenkinson?
No. She's been indicating for a couple of minutes or so, but time has just not been right for her to be able to be subbed.
So we've got a new circle lineup. Let's see if we can restrict the movement of the Isle of Man shooters now. Well, they've done their job so far. Isle of Man having to reset. Lovely shot from Gail.
So now to the other way, 35-33. And win the turnover on the Ireland centre.
And the crowd literally went wild at that.
Oh my goodness, what a game. Oh, good take by Gail.
Nice shot.
So.
And their centre pass as well.
Yeah, 36-33.
Good support, centre pass support by Ryder.
We know there's still a long way to go. We've just seen Isle of Man come back from 3 down.
Oh, well seen, Ashley Hall. That was a great
feed in.
Doing her leadership role out on the court. Unlucky Johnston. And another turnover call. What can Ireland do now to disrupt the flow of Isle of Man? Trying to leave every part of their body on the court, Lynn.
Yeah, absolutely. Can understand why. Isle of Man again, 4 up. Will this be 5? It is. 2.5 minutes to go until 3/4 time. Game's really swung now, hasn't it?
Yeah,
Isle of Man.
But this is not over. 3 turnovers. This could be anybody's game. We've seen, we've seen Gibraltar do it to Ireland. Ireland have certainly done it before in previous games. The Isle of Man have shown that, they have got the tenacity to do it. The crowd are now behind them. Ireland will not want to give up.
Oh, such strong play. Clever by Gail.
But they are fired up. The Isle of Man girls are fired up.
They're determined to go into this break in the lead. 6 in it now. Ireland trailing 33-39.
You can just feel the intensity of their play increasing as well. Two defensive circle players holding Jan well.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of pressure on her. They've done their homework. They know what Jan's style of play is. So Keeling giving a caution, I think, for persistent contact infringements. So one back. Isle of Man centre.
I want to take care of this and convert from it with only just over a minute to go. Oh,
nice play
well
by
done, Jess Smallwood. Ooh. That was lucky for the Isle of Man, but they did the job. Just inside a minute. They'll want to deny Ireland the opportunity of this goal.
Oh,
and they've kept the pressure on. 40 seconds to go. They certainly want to be converting this. Lovely long ball into Johnston.
Got plenty of time for Isle of Man to score again.
Lovely that Jess Smallwood is staying wide, looking for the ball underneath the post.
Gail really playing dominant pace out there.
Lovely interplay between the two shooters.
You can sense how much the Isle of Man players want it. Lovely vision.
What a great shot to finish.
And that is how
Johnston will not want to take this centre pass.
And the Isle of Man crowd, as you can see, on their feet to cheer their team in at three-quarter time. 41-34.
What a great game. This is fantastic, but you know, Ireland will not want to take this lying down. They're going to come back out really strongly now. So the Isle of Man girls, even though they're 7 goals up, they will need to bring everything that they've got and more to keep hold of this lead. You know, the worst thing that they could do is come back on, sitting comfortably, because Ireland will come from nowhere if they don't maintain the intensity of that match.
So if we look at the quarter score there, Deb, in that third quarter, Isle of Man took that 18-10.
Great, I mean, that was great. Take the game to them. That's exactly what they did. But they fought back, they used every possession that they were given, they turned over ball. You know, and it only takes a couple of like really crucial turnovers, doesn't it, Lynn? And, you know, it raises the whole motivation levels of your team, and everybody then just seems to be on it. So, yeah, Ireland need to find that. Kate Birmingham can often be a game changer at the back end. Few crucial intercepts for her, and they could be back in this game. So they're going to have to, the Isle of Man girls are just going to have to take care of the ball.
So let's bring you some of those moments of brilliance that we've just seen in this quarter and show you some of the replays. Interesting, we could see Holly Jenkinson indicating for some time that she wasn't obviously... She had something, a niggle, an injury, but the flow of play just wasn't allowing her to go off. She then thought she had the ball, dropped it, umpire hadn't called it for injury. She's now off, we've got McLean on. How influential do you think that kind of little passage where we knew she was injured would have reflected on on her own players?
Yeah, and that's really hard because obviously, you know, not that it matters inside or outside the circle, but inside the circle the shooters are playing well, they're managing to find each other. They needed, clearly if Holly was struggling, a fresh pair of legs on in there that could actually work as a unit with Kate to turn over some balls. So yeah, that is crucial for them. But you know, that doesn't account for 7 goals, Lynn. I'm sure quite a lot of the possession was lost mid-court. So, you know, Jenkinson, like, you know, yeah, there was a small amount of play there that was affected by it, but not 7 goals worth. And I'm sure that Joan will be reminding them of the things that they have to do in order to claw that back.
So how does the experience of some of those Ireland girls, Murphy, Hines, for example, Duffy, pull through those new people on the side, those new players who've never been at this? What do they now need to do to really keep within reach of Isle of Man and pull the game back their favour?
Yeah, I mean, they've got to take more responsibility out on the court, haven't they? You know, they're the ones that should be, you know, Kate should be dictating the back end, you know, the defensive outside the circle, inside the circle. Niamh Murphy maybe needs to do more work coming through the middle. But in saying that, you know, you say about experience, Erin Peters has been taking some really good ball, and I've seen her, like you have, play really well, like in the middle too, as well as at wing defence. So you've got an experienced player in each one of those thirds. So even linking up through the court, they should be able to do this. It's more about a mindset than it is actually. They've got the physical ability to be able to do it. They now need to go on the court believing that they can pull back the 7 goals from the Isle of Man, irrespective of what the Isle of Man put out on the court.
And of course the Isle of Man are in a position that they've never been in before. They're 7 goals up with 15 minutes to go away from winning a regional championship of this nature. Do you think that will play a part in there?
Oh my God, yeah, that's immense. And I'm sure that they talked about that before they, you know, played this game. I'm sure they've just been reminded. I'm sure that Ashley's just put a 3 cheers in and said exactly that. You know, the next 15 minutes, every single ball to these counts. If they keep possession of their centre passes, this game and this championship is theirs.
And if that's the case, I don't think we'll be able to hear ourselves to close out this match
sure
at the end.
We're not. I'm glad I've got these headphones on.
Oh, and there you go. Gail is saying, I want this match. 40-34.
And I'm also sure that was, if you want this game, you're going to have to fight me for it.
So Ireland bring the ball down. Oh, just a bit of ball placement there. Just a bit of doubt in their minds.
Yeah, and it came back to experience, Lynn, didn't it? You know, experienced players making sure that they make a difference, both on and off the court. The Isle of Man girls are finding space. The timing of their move is really good. Great, good vision for Ashley to find Gail underneath the post.
There we go, 43-34, their centre pass.
Yeah, see, Ashley Hall's really effective at the centre pass. She's taking 2 steps. Johnston's managing to find her. They've got to start doubling on that centre pass to close Ashley down.
So, we now have a 10-goal game here. I don't think we were expecting that.
No, I didn't expect that, Lynn. I expected this to be within touching distance all the way until the final, seconds of the game. But again, you know, this is not an undoable feat for Ireland to do this.
And Hines happily pulls one back. They've got to make some progress now on their centre passes, Ireland, haven't they, from Isle of Man's perspective?
Yeah. Johnston delaying the ball there from centre pass.
I like the way Gail has come out in this last period of play, really dominating, giving options in the circle.
Yeah, I mean, they are splitting the defenders apart in the circle. Their movement is great. They're playing off each other really well.
So, 45-35. Isle of Man are 13 minutes away from being crowned
this is going to be phenomenal.
The winners here this weekend, if the game stays as it is. As we've said, if Ireland do come back, then 3-way split between Ireland, Isle of Man and Gibraltar.
I think it's going to take them a year to come back down from it, Lynn, if they do win this championship. Oh, great
brilliant
vision by Hall to find Gail underneath the post. The pressure is definitely all on Ireland at the minute.
Oh, look at her. Not giving anything away. Gonna have another go.
Great rebound and shot by Smallwood. Her and Gail have really impressed in this game, Lynn. You know, they've given their circle edge players plenty of options to find them underneath the post. Oh, great that Jenkinson's rejoining us on the court. Good interplay with Hall. Good that Johnston tried to get some depth there and help us to reset. Oh, well seen.
Swing round there. She saw Smallwood out the corner of her eye, taking the baseline drive.
Yeah, and similarly, Smallwood made sure that she was available for that swing option.
It's really high quality netball here.
You know, it's play like that, Lynn, that's put them in the position in this game that they are currently. It's going to take everything Ireland have got to get even close to this Isle of Man team at the minute. Contact call against Storner. Nice shot from Jan. Chipping away at the lead that Isle of Man have created. Good play by the Isle of Man, reading off each other to make their moves into the empty channels. They like that pocket ball, Lynn, into the far corner. The Island girls have not managed to read that yet and pick that off, but that has definitely been something that's worked for them for nearly the whole of the game.
I mean, I've loved the strength of Gail, her timing on the rebound. She's not quite as tall as the Island defence, but because her timing is that little bit more spot on, she's coming away with ball so much more.
Yeah. Great pick up by Storner. Another turnover ball for the Isle of Man.
So Deb, we're looking at only 10 minutes left. 12 goals the gap. Isle of Man ahead of Ireland.
They are, and at the minute, Lynn, they don't look like they're anywhere near wanting to give up any of this lead. In fact, they, you know, the intensity at which they're still playing this game, 6 games in, 10 minutes left, they want this. You can see that they want it. You can feel that they want it, even from the commentators' box. They know that they've got the upper hand, and it's full steam ahead. This is going to be difficult. This is a massive ask now for Ireland to come back from this lead.
So I think if we're being asked to get off the fence, I don't think our view is that they will do. They can still make an indent in this game. Do you not think 9 minutes, 13 goals, that's a huge ask?
Yeah, it is a big ask, particularly at this level, when we know that actually the Isle of Man have been putting out a great performance. You know, it hasn't been inconsistent, so I don't think in 9 minutes they're going to give away, 7 balls and then allow them to convert off, 7 of their centre passes to take this.
Because that's what it's going to come down to now, isn't it?
I think Jan must have heard us.
Yeah, she pulled one back. So 12 in it, 49-37. What a game.
Yeah, the defence for the Isle of Man are working doggedly as well. They're trying to keep the Island girls off the circle edge for that easy feed. And it's working. What they can't afford to do now, though, is switch off.
Good feed into Hines. So, down to 11. We know this isn't over yet. We've got 8 minutes left on the clock.
Good patience by the Isle of Man attack. Again
again
right into the
swing
pocket.
And into the back. And there we go.
The ball flowing really well there for Ireland. I think that's their best passage of attack in the past couple of minutes.
Yeah, Hines from distance. So 50-39.
Yeah, Ryder driving well there to support the centre pass. A little bit of miscommunication between Hall and Gale. They're 11 ahead, but not too many of those mistakes, hopefully.
Yeah, look in.
Oh,
fantastic
well
by Duffy.
Played. Great balance and vision to find Jan underneath the post.
So 10 goals in it. Ireland centre. This could be back to single figures, Deb.
Yeah, look, and this is them again, not wanting to give up. They've held the title. They won it last year. This is where experience shows, isn't it, Lynn?
I'm beginning to wonder if I'm going to eat my words.
And again,
There
another
we go.
turnover, Ireland's favour.
Oh my goodness.
I think this is where the coaches have probably said you've got everything it takes, but it's going to take everything you've got. Which team are going to be the ones that have got it? What a great atmosphere in this sports centre today, Lynn.
Yeah. Heinz needs to get back. It is a fantastic atmosphere. 6 minutes to go, 9 in it.
Yeah, and they're only getting louder. Oh, good vision to see that long ball to Gale. Oh, replay ball called.
Yeah, couldn't quite hold it. Oh my goodness, it's not over yet. 6 minutes just under now.
9 goals in 6 minutes.
Nothing is impossible.
Good take by Duffy. A little bit more movement around
You want
that
Heinz
circle
by the
edge.
post. You want her to be targeting there from. That's
but
it.
It looks like there's a little bit more energy now in the Ireland attack. They've wanted this in the previous 2 quarters. Lovely take by Johnston. Crucial turnover ball there for the Isle of Man. They'll want to show patience in this attack now.
And how brilliant for the world of netball to see these teams, one completely unranked, one ranked 20th in the world, competing at this level.
Oh, it's great.
This could be the World Netball Cup. I'm sorry, but these players could be there competing. The quality of play is that good.
Yeah. They've put in some stunning performances.
Wow.
I think Bath will be pleased with the way Smallwood's performed this weekend. Again, that's where Peters just needed to cut inside for that ball, take Ashley Hall away. Ooh.
Out of hands. That's all. Just Ireland just so want it to fall their way. They're just trying so hard.
Storner worked hard for that.
She did.
Look, there's so much space through the court for these Isle of Man girls. They're finding each other like really easily. Good support play again by Ryder. Smallwood works the outside of the circle really well.
They're just being patient. They know they don't need to force it in.
Yeah.
They're just waiting for the right opportunity.
Sure, that's part of the game plan. They're in no rush. 10 goals up. They know that they've got the upper hand again. That ball into the corner. Interesting.
Gail loved that ball. You thought it was going to
gonna-
swing it. Yeah, I think everyone did, but that's why Gail got it.
Yeah.
She did something different. 52-41. I think 3.5 minutes.
Oh my gosh!
Are you going to come off the fence now?
Yeah, I think I've got to. But you know, like we've said, house country, fires in their belly. This is great. This is a great performance from both teams, actually. But moreover,
amazing.
the Isle of Man, they fought from the very first whistle.
They wanted this. You sense that.
Yeah.
This is new territory from them. And they're hungry. They're hungry for the first win.
You know, for me, Lynn, they want to reward all of the people that have helped to get them there. What better reward?
Your first ever hosted international. Your first ever world ranking. And it looks like their first Netball Europe Open win.
Yeah, this is what memories are made of, isn't it?
It is.
And, you know, what a great legacy for all those that are going to come after them as well.
Oh, that's the way to take the ball. Ashley Hall.
Just under 3 minutes left.
Lydia Closey is watching. Surprised you've got any voice left, Deb. She's got a lot of voice, Lydia. She can go for hours.
You might find that I've got none left at work tomorrow, Lydia, when I'm back.
They'll probably be quite pleased about that, won't they, Deb?
Yeah, probably.
That is the way to sign off your first ever home international event of this nature.
You know what's it's so amazing, Lynn, is that they are still not giving up, because even though they know they've got this in the bag now, actually they want to win it in style. They don't want to give up until the last whistle. Isle of Man possession, just under 2 minutes.
55-42. I expect to see the crowd go wild.
Beautiful feed from Smallwood, finding Gail underneath the post. The pressure is off. It's amazing what you can do when the pressure is totally off you, when you know that this is your championship.
And loads of people are watching. Isabel Everson has burnt the dinner because she can't take her eyes.
This game has been worth burning the dinner for.
Order a takeaway, Isabel. 1:20 to go, Deb.
What an awesome spectacle.
56-43. Respect to Ireland. They're still fighting for every ball in there.
Sign of a good team though, Lynn, isn't it? Never giving up until the final whistle. But neither will the Isle of Man. Again, that ball that we've seen so often.
Yeah, they're just taking their time. We're into the last minute now.
Yeah, good patience around the circle edge. I've really enjoyed seeing Ashley Hall actually and Johnston play together. They've produced some really good netball in attack. Johnston looks like she's absolutely spent, but she's still giving her all. That's great. Great play.
So here we go with 14 goals in it.
Amazing hands from Ryder.
They're just not
great
stopping.
reading of the ball. This is it. They want to pile it on. Oh, good
Great
girl, Kate
play.
Birmingham.
Class player.
Yeah. Neither team's wanting to give up.
Yeah, we have to remember there is another match straight afterwards, so the celebration will have to wait for later.
They've got 10 seconds to go. Will they look in?
Oh, Birmingham.
They don't need it.
And as you can hear, the crowd go wild when they see that their team, Isle of Man, has just beaten Ireland 57 goals to 45 in what is the clinch match for the Netball Europe Open event. Deb, it's been end to end. It's been both teams in the match the way through. But that domination of the third quarter from the Isle of Man, taking it 18-10, I think, is probably the story of this match.
God, I feel as exhausted as they do. That was amazing. What a phenomenal performance from both teams. But you know what? Good for the Isle of Man. You know, raising their game, bringing it home for the home supporters. I'm sure that everybody's equally as proud of them off the court, on the court. They deserved that win. They played well, you know, minimised their error count, dogged determination, kept the intensity all the way into the final balls. That was great performance.
And we are, of course, thrilled for both teams. But as we know, Isle of Man will now be crowned later on this afternoon, the Netball Europe Open Challenge winners of 2019. Deb Jones, it's been fantastic to share this game with you. Loved having you with us in commentary. To Netball Europe and to our hosts, Isle of Man, to QTV Sport, who brought this game to you, to all the volunteers and all of you watching back home. I hope you've enjoyed this game. But don't go too far. We are bringing you next Israel against the UK Armed Forces at 3 o'clock. But for now, thank you for joining us and good afternoon.